My name is Kristen Smith. You take a 2-year program and you should be paid accordingly. Programs at Lambton College, for example, that are 2 years and you're coming out and you're making over twice the amount of an ECE. I think that our government should definitely take the time to look at those things and adjust accordingly. I was working at a daycare and I was making $11 an hour. Mind you, that was my 13 years ago. And after a few really good jobs, I had this position. But it was just not okay in my opinion. There was no benefits, you're making $11 an hour, and how are you supposed to provide for your family? And especially when you're doing a job that in my opinion is one of the most important jobs, caregiving jobs for families. In order for a doctor to go to work who has a child, they require childcare. And a nurse, a teacher. There's so many jobs where you can't do those jobs and provide those services to communities unless you have childcare. So the wages, in my opinion, should reflect the importance of the job, and the importance of the job is you're taking care of someone's most precious person in their life, and also setting them up to be successful citizens and parts of our community. I see that now as a teacher a lot, where your job is very important, and there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you're just an ECE, you're just a babysitter, or they think the same thing about teachers sometimes, and we really need to understand that everyone started there, and to have a good solid background or upbringing, these things are really important. I talk about it all the time, actually, especially working with the younger population in schools. So I teach SK grade 1, and the SK kids that I teach, they used to be the kids that I would have in daycare every other day. So to see the direction of schools go in this way, sometimes it's difficult for me because with my background, I understand the importance of the smaller ratio. And right now, that's something that's going to be put out there into the media about smaller classroom sizes, and that's something that I definitely see as a benefit, especially for young children. I don't understand why the government thinks it's okay for kids to go from childcare, where there's a ratio of 1 to 8 adult to child, to a school where there can be 2 adults and 30 children packed into a little classroom. It's upsetting for me to see because of the benefit that I saw from coming from childcare, working in childcare, and having that smaller ratio. And you have more individualized care, really, because the teachers have a little bit more time. Well, I mean, it's still difficult, but you can meet their needs a little bit more. So I definitely feel that my background in ECE has been of benefit to me, just because I'm used to working with a partner. That was something I always worked alongside a partner or another ECE. I think that's invaluable because of the things that you can bring to the table together, like the planning that you can do together, and just the experience that you can bring, or that you can collaborate with. The role of an ECE, in my opinion, is a very important one, because you're taking care of children, but you're taking care of families too. And I think it's one of the most nurturing roles that you could possibly pursue, nurturing careers, and it takes a very special person to do it.